Well, welcome back. Still up here at Waipari at the Hawke's Bay Farm Forester Field Day on Mark Warren's property, which is Waipari. And I had a look around the crowd because we've still been having a presentation, and I looked for the oldest guy I could find, and I found him. Tom Hartree, how are you?
I'm very well, Steve. How's yourself?
I'm good. Now, I hope you don't mind me telling everyone that you are 86 years of age and pretty good nick.
I'm bloody lucky to have got that far and enjoyed a very wonderful life in Hawke's Bay.
Now, you yourself won the Hawke's Bay Farm Forester of the Year award. Can you remember what year that was? I've got the pamphlet here if we need to look it up. Roughly. Just take a guess.
Roughly. I would say about 88 or somewhere back then. I can't remember, to be perfectly honest.
Well, let's go with 1988. That sounds good. And then last year, which was really cool, your son and daughter-in-law won the award on the same properties.
Yes, we're very lucky to be on the same property for so long. My son's sons are the fifth generation on the same piece of land, so it's rather wonderful that tree planting's gone from one generation to another and getting better and learning from my mistakes, and I think my son has outplanted me many times over.
Yeah, well, Greg and Rachel hosted us on that day because of COVID. It got pushed towards the end of the year, I think, from memory.
Uh-huh.
So it was only a few months ago, but it was a fantastic day, and for people like me, it was a great opportunity to come back onto your property to see those plantings of yours that I'd seen 20 or 30 years ago. And you were someone who inspired me to do plantings, and I guess that's how it goes around, isn't it? And that's what we've got here today. There'll be a bunch of people here listening to Mark who will be inspired to do something similar.
Yes, I'm sure they will be, and I hope they go on to plant forever. The government's forcing us into this one, and I think we were early starters, and I really think there's a big push now for more trees to go in on farmland. It's going to happen whether we like it or not.
So what, early in your farming career, in your 20s, I think it was from memory, so we're talking 60, 65 years ago, what inspired you to start planting trees? I should say that's probably at a time when people were still cutting them down and clearing the forests.
It was. I had two brothers that came back from World War II, and they wanted to go farming, and they went up to an area in Partoka and cut down a lot of mature Kānuka and stuff like that, D4s and HD5s burnt and crushed a lot of this land into pasture, and I think we realised then this couldn't go on forever, and we as a family set aside 500 acres of a block at Puketiti in the Kiritu Covenant. So we've always been as a family conscious of our environment.
And another covenant we stopped in was your one there at Puketafu, is that right?
Yes.
And in fact, that's where your grandson, it was a Q2 trust, but he had permission to build a little lodge there, which he was doing himself. And I was just blown away by that young man. What was he, like 17 or something?
Yep, he was 17 years of age and got twice the brain power that I ever had at that age. But it's wonderful to see this happening on land that we've planted. This was in amongst mature redwoods planted 50 years ago. And I believe Steve lay down and looked up into the trees, and it was quite an experience. And,
yeah, I took a photo of it.
Yeah.
And then someone took a photo of me taking the photo.
They got even with you. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm a tree nut. I've always been interested in trees, and even at my age now, I still plant the odd one.
But you're also a decent farmer as well, so it proves, many have, that you can do both. You can farm and you can plant and grow trees successfully. Yes,
this is so true. And we've expanded over a period of time too, which I think has helped. If we'd ended up with the one little family farm, we would most probably been in financial strife by this time. But with expansion, we've managed to keep our head afloat. But I still think farming's a sunset industry. Roger Douglas was right. Somewhere along the line, it's getting tougher and tougher.
It's getting tougher and tougher. Tom Hartree, thank you very much for just giving us a little bit of rundown on your life and your exploits out there planting trees on your farms. We'll let you get back to the field day.
Good. Thank you, Steve.
And back to you at the studio, Donald. Well, welcome back. Still up here at Waipari at the Hawke's Bay Farm Forester Field Day.